Ragman, the strangest resident of Windfall, sat at the table closest to the door. He stared at her with a smirk, a way too familiar smirk. They'd never spoken, yet he always managed to irk her. He just gave her the strangest feeling. The way he dressed didn't help. His wardrobe consisted of torn pieces of old clothing tied together to form a kind of mesh. A little more skin than was decent peeked through. He wore sandals even in cold weather. His bald head was covered with a red and black bandana. And it wasn't just his head that was hairless. Except for his eyebrows, which were exceedingly bushy, he was as smooth as a porpoise. He had to wax. Swallowing her ill-ease, Bara passed Ragman, who never broke his glare, and entered the cafe. The air rang with the tinkle of door chimes. Inside was as full as the patio. Bara looked around, trying to pinpoint the object of the goth's affection. Waiting tables was Mona, a 20-something pretty brunette. Surly Bob staffed the counter. He wasn't new. No one else seemed to be working. Bara scanned the tables full of housewives taking a break from shopping, but whoever had grabbed the goth's attention had either finished his shift or was on break. Surly Bob noticed her standing in the middle of the cafe. He threw her an impatient glare and asked if she needed any help. The way he emphasized the word help made her think he meant mental help. Bara had been coming to the cafe since she'd been old enough to drink coffee, but he still treated her like a stranger. She ignored his obvious disdain and ordered 2 Black Mountain blends and a couple of croissants. While waiting for her order to be filled, she watched the back room door for any sign of the new guy. It remained closed. None too swiftly, and like he was doing her the greatest of favors, Surly Bob poured the coffees and bagged the pastry. Bara paid and stepped over to the condiment table. She took her time adding cream and cinnamon, maintaining an eye on the back room door, hoping to catch a glimpse of the new barista. Chimes rang again. Drusilla came in and sauntered over to the counter. Incidentally, she also watched the back room door. She hummed and hawed for what felt like a painfully long time, even to Bara, so to Surly Bob, it must have been truly excruciating. Finally she said, "I'll have a chai." "A chai what?" Surly Bob rolled his eyes. Drusilla acted confused, thinking her request obvious. Letting out enough air to inflate a balloon, Surly Bob sighed. "A chai tea, a chai latte, a chai muffin. We got a lot of chai." Drusilla pursed her mouth and put one hand on her hip. She'd had this plan. "Then why don't you chai being nicer, dude?" And then, apparently no longer thirsty, she turned on her heels and flounced out of the cafe, leaving Surly Bob with a look on his face that could only be described as priceless. Bara fought not to laugh, but she couldn't help smiling. Surly Bob shot her a glare. Time to go. She took one last look at the back room door. No dark teenage god appeared. She shrugged and went back out into the bright sunshine. The patio was almost empty. Both the goths and Ragman had gone. Bara took a left and walked north, heading toward the tall clock tower looming ahead.